It's going. Come on, Mommy, sit down. Okay, so, a few weeks back, the UN adopted a resolution on the situation in northern Mali.
Okay, and what did they decide to do?
They decided they would attach military advisors to the Mali army to advise them in their fight against the rebels, who have had more success than originally anticipated.
Right. And who are the advisors? Where are they coming from? Are they?
From member states.
Right.
Perhaps militarily successful member states, so probably Western nations.
Well, could be Africans. They tend to try and keep it in-house, in area, so to speak.
Well, when the UN finally gets around to it, it'll be interesting to see what happens.
It will indeed.
So I also read an article on China and its role as a superpower and in the world.
Right.
Because
predicting that it would be a superpower?
Predicting that it is a superpower, but not of your conventional kind. Because while they do have a fairly strong military, it's not that makes them so strong. It's their very powerful and very quick growing economy. And
yeah, well, I guess the challenge is to keep it growing quickly. I mean, they've had their huge
boom and bust
demographic dividend. So they've had a huge move of people. More people finally in China live in cities than in the countryside. They've all gone to work in factories, work in cities, and though not necessarily officially, because you have to have this residency permit thing. So that sort of because the birth rate's been dropping for the past 30 years since their one-child policy, there aren't so many...
Which was fantastically successful.
Well, because it was very brutally enforced.
Whatever it takes.
Yes, but now they've got to the price for that is a rapidly ageing population, a shortage of young people coming through to do those really boring, very, very boring factory jobs, and young people graduating from high school and college now don't want to do it. Wages have been rising very rapidly in China, so their big cost advantage, which is why everybody with factories out there, is kind of eroding quite quickly. And there isn't another big wave of people to come through from the countryside to replace those people.
Yeah, well, maybe after they liberalise, they could become...
If they do.
Well, I don't know, if you have
That's the big challenge. They've got to keep the growth going to keep everybody happy, because there's, quite a lot of concern about social unrest. Been lots of protests about, environmental degradation, dam building, siting of chemical plants, local issues about pollution, local corruption. They have a lot to keep a lid on.
So I guess their future superpower hangs in the balance.
It does hang in the balance, indeed. That's my opinion, anyway.
So, in addition, a church in Nigeria was attacked, and I think 40 people killed in the initial attack, and 2 people killed in later reprisals by local Christians.
Okay, so that was Muslims, I guess, who were attacking the church?
The Nigerian government has yet to comment, but...
The Boko Haram, or whatever they're called.
That's the assumption.
Right, but they haven't claimed responsibility. Oh dear, yes, poor old Nigeria.
Yeah, and the town attacked, it was on the border between the Muslim north and animist and Christian south, and apparently it had been filled with an influx of refugees fleeing religious persecution.
Oh, that just tipped the balance, I guess.
Too tempting a target.
Yes, that's too bad.
Yes, it's a shame. And finally, Syrian opposition groups met in Doha, the capital of Qatar, to discuss the future of the government in Syria and basically what they would do if the government were to be defeated.
Right. Can they agree? Well, the talks have just started, haven't they? Only just started?
Yesterday.
Right. Oh, well, good luck to them. I mean, the trouble often is that the opposition has only its uniting forces, that it's against the regime, and can't agree on anything else apart from that. And I do hope that that's not the case in Syria.
Yeah, it'd be nice to see another democratic government in that particular region of the world.
Indeed.
Perhaps a stabilising influence on some of its crazier neighbours.
Hope so.
Thank you for joining me, Mum.
You're very welcome, Robert.
See
you
you
next time.
Yeah, see you in
4
a couple.
weeks.
Yeah.
4 weeks' time.
See you in a couple of weeks.